actually spending our first night. A lot of people knew we were both like really tired by that point, because how do you know if you're ready for kid names? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day, a great night. My name is Brianna, and today I'm going to be doing, we can see I have a whole bunch of stuff to make smoothies. I like to make these about once a month, and then it will probably last me 2 months at this point. But do one whole big batch, and then I have a whole bunch of smoothies to drink. So I'll freeze them into gallon bags, and then just pull them out and just let them just like defrost on their own, just like into a bowl. Well, I put the bag into a bowl, and then I just put that into like a smoothie cup, and I drink it like that. So that's one of my favorite breakfasts, is what I prefer to have every morning, but I have to do it all at once. So I have all my stuff here, because I've had a couple of people ask like how I make these and what I put in. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'll be going over all this stuff. Probably pausing when the blender goes off, because I'm probably showing you most of this. But I asked some questions on Instagram, some different questions that you guys wanted or had, and so I'm going to be answering those as well. So let's get into this video. So number one thing is what I do for these is I cut up, I do celery and carrot. So I like to do about one thing of celery and one stalk of celery, and then one carrot into each smoothie. So what I do is I just kind of cut them into, depending on how big the piece is, but just kind of small. If they're like really big and round, like carrots, I'll do them in half to help the blender out a little bit. And I just do one of those. And so then I fill up probably about 12 to 14 bowls, because it's just easier to know exactly how much serving size for each. So I'll do that, and that's what I'm going to be doing right now. It's just cutting up everything and putting them into individual bowls, which will cover up this whole entire table eventually. So we're going to start there. But I will also start with a question. So first question I got was, how was the wedding night? The wedding night was really nice. I know it can be like really scary for a lot of girls, probably guys as well, to do that. And I know like I wasn't really nervous or anything about it per se, but it was something new. And so the aspect of something being new was a little scary for me, or not scary, but that unknown was maybe a little hesitant, or I don't even know the right word. Not hesitant is not even the right word. I can't find it, but you know, you're just like, what's it gonna be like? Like me and Logan, we waited until we were married, and so, you know, it's like, you know a lot and you hear a lot, but it's still like new when you do it. And so before, like thinking about it, I was nervous, or like for that unknown reason, but not really like scared at all. But when it came down to it, it was really interesting, because I wasn't nervous at all. I was just like, okay, like we're married now. Like I wasn't really nervous. I think Logan was a little more nervous. But like, no, he wasn't even really, but I was just like, hey, so it was really good. It was nice and peaceful. I mean that because, so we kept it a secret where we were going the first night, because my dad, when my parents were married, his aunt decided to chase them all around town, follow them everywhere, and wouldn't give them any privacy. So I was like, we're not telling anyone. We kept it like on the down low, just for like that purpose. No one knew at all where we were actually spending our first night. A lot of people knew where our honeymoon was going, which was up to Logan, Utah. Logan, you know, going to Logan for a honeymoon, but they didn't know where that was. So it was really nice that way. We were both like really tired by that point, because weddings really wear you out, but it was nice and good, and I couldn't have asked for probably a better like first night. Me and Logan too, we had talked about it a lot before, and so he had made me feel very comfortable, just like to work into it, and then it didn't make it like stressful, or I just felt a lot more peace in how he did it. So I enjoyed it a lot more because then I felt like I had a lot more say in everything. So it was really good. You guys, these really, when I do these, it takes me probably, because I have to get everything ready and then put everything away, 2 hours maybe, which sounds like a lot of time, but that's once a month. And if not, I'm gonna spend every morning making the smoothies. So really, it saves a whole lot of time, I think, because it takes longer when you're trying to put everything away to make a smoothie every morning. So it does take some time, but it really saves it long term. And I love doing these. They're great. They're nutritious. So as I showed before, I have a bunch of fruits and vegetables, and then just juice. I don't do any dairy. One, I'm allergic to dairy. So if you really want to, you can put milk in them. Or do whatever you want. I just like to do the straight juice since I can't really have much dairy. Well, actually, I have a whole other story. I've not mentioned this anywhere online, but I've been meeting with a doctor and I've been slowly trying some dairy out, and I haven't been getting sick from it. So we're gonna see if that changes or what happens with all the stuff that's going on. So I'm pretty happy, but I guess we'll see. Okay, question number 2. Favorite part about being married? Oh, I think it's just the feeling of, one, not having to date, but because you know that's just tiring, but 2, just knowing you're safe, even if it's at night. So like, I love waking up to someone or knowing there's someone else there, that if there's like weird noises, he'll protect me, or just being able to just have hugs all the time, because sometimes you just have a rough day and you're like, I just want a hug. So it's just really nice to know he's coming home, even though he'll start school soon and not be home as much. But it's been really good. So I would just say just having someone there to depend on would probably be my favorite part. So we are on bowl number 7. Alright, let's just pause right here. Make sure you go push the subscribe button. It means so much. It means you don't miss any videos and this video is thumbs up. Thank you. So we're getting there. And hopefully be done fairly soon. Okay. Next question. How do you know if you're ready for kids? Now, I feel like it's going to be different for everyone. Everyone kind of matures at different ages and just their lives, how they are. But my number one thing is, if you are ready or you feel ready and you trust in God, that he'll help you fix those ends. So my parents, they got married. They were trained right off to have kids, and they got pregnant pretty quick. But my mom had a miscarriage, and then shortly after they got pregnant with me and I was born and all that. But they looked back at the time when I would have been born, that it would have been a lot harder to have a baby. But when when the first baby was conceived, when they first got pregnant. But when I was, it just ended up being like just a few months later, a whole lot easier and better. So I just believe if you are feeling the need to have kids and you trust in God, then he'll make everything, like, he'll help you out, he'll make everything easier and all that. So I say trust in God and know, because children are amazing. I can't wait until me and Logan are parents. It'll be super exciting for us. So I say just follow your gut and follow God, and yeah, he'll make everything possible. I'm running out of room, which is usually what happens. So we're going into plastic bowls because 1, I don't have up to 15 bowls, and 2, some of them are dirty. So, you know, we're doing with what we got. But I could use all plastic for this whole entire thing. Move them away. I just don't want to spend all the money on these bowls because I do this enough. So we're doing it like this. But I have done all plastic, and it's so nice to just throw them away and not have more dishes. But it's all up to you if you're gonna make these. Ooh, this is another good question. Things that surprised you about marriage. You know, honestly, I don't know if I can answer this because I don't know if anything's really surprised me. For me and Logan, it just felt like everything was so natural and normal, and like I've known him my whole life, and I just had a whole lot of peace. And so that hasn't really, I know saying he's my husband is weird, like being like, oh, I need to get this for my husband, or my husband wants to do this, or someone's like, what did your husband do for work? And that's been harder than I thought to like transition, because from boyfriend to fiance wasn't too hard, but for some reason, fiance to husband, my brain just does not want to say, like, it does not want to remember that as easy. So I don't know why that is. I know a lot of girls struggle with at least the last name part, but we'll eventually get okay with the whole husband thing. Or just saying not okay. I love being married. It's been great. But yeah, I don't know what surprises me, because I don't feel like there has been really any surprises. I feel like it's all just been like, oh yeah, I got nothing. I don't think anything has really surprised me. If anything, the only thing would be how good life is. Like, you know it's going to be, and like when you love someone, but it's still like just to feel it and see it is, I don't, still surprised just how like good life can be. So maybe not surprised, but that's definitely something that I feel like is a blessing and better than I thought it would be. Okay, so I finished up that part of cutting everything, so that is done. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I first start out by just doing the carrots and the celery, putting those in, and I like to blend them up first, just to make sure that they get blended really well, and do that. So I'll do those first. You can really use any kind of blender. I've used like other smaller ones. This is the one I currently have. I have so many blenders that I use. So I'll first grind up these to make sure they do really well, and then I'll add everything else in. You know, it's really smart if you put the actual lid on, or you're gonna make a big mess. So that's blended up. Normally with other blenders it takes a bit to do that, but that was nice and easy. So the next part I do is I get some spinach, and I'll just put like a handful or so into there, and do that. So from this step, I like to get, I only have the normal blueberries. I like wild blueberries, but they were out, so that's what we're gonna use today. Finally got it. So I like to do avocado in these as well, so I cut them up into like either half or a fourth, just depending on the price and just how many I decide to get. I never have like a set, so I never know how many. So doing about a half a cup of blueberries. I also, so we'll get some of the chia and water, and I'm doing like 2/3 of a cup into this, and then we'll do just a little bit of strawberries and a little bit of the mixed berries. So yeah, really the fruits you can mix up however you want. I know a lot of people love bananas in smoothies. I don't, so I never do those, but kind of just do whatever sounds good. Yeah, whatever you want into these. So the reason though I do have apple juice over here is because sometimes, just depending on how much juice or whatever, I like to just supplement a little bit with water, which is fine. So a little more spinach, because I have a lot of spinach today. So I just kind of fill it with whatever I want and do all that. So I'll put a little bit of apple juice, or mostly apple juice, and then put a little bit of water. And then your apple juice will go a little farther too. It just depends on how sweet you want it to. That will work. Okay, I had to redo the battery. So we're gonna mix this up now. Okay, so after this is blended up, usually why I'm getting or letting that blend up, I will then get a bag ready, and I just put it into a pitcher and then put it up into there, and then from there I will just take it out, seal it a little bit, or get all the air out, and then just lay it flat. And then I'll put these all into the freezer soon, and then put them, and then drink them, you know? Okay, so let's get into the next question. Favorite trait that Logan has? So, oh, trait. I'm trying to think, not about him, about what exactly I should say, because there's so many. Favorite trait would probably be his work ethic. He's a really hard worker, very big with like family and home, and so I really like that about him. I like a lot of stuff. He's just like the best. Best for me. He's just a great, wonderful husband, but he's just been good to me from day one, which is why I married him, because he's so good with me, and when I'm not having good days, he's just always there for me and all of that. So I say that is probably my favorite part is, yeah, work ethic and just like value of family. Okay, let's do another question. Give us the day in the life of Brianna. What do I do? What do I do? I'm a very repetitive person, so really I'm a creature of habit. I do the same thing over and over again. But I wake up, y'all know if you follow me on Instagram, I get up and I post some quotes to Instagram. I love quotes, and I love just kind of showing, kind of just being a little uplifting, and all that. So that's my first thing, very first in the morning, just doing that. I pray, and then I start getting ready for the day. So while I get ready in the morning, I listen to a conference talk. For our church, we have conferences twice a year. And so I always like to re-listen to them and just get more out of them and just anything I missed. But I've been slowly going back since for years. And so I'm in like the late 1900s. Wow, that sounds so, makes me sound so old. Or that sounds so late, but I was born in the 1900s. So I've been slowly going back and watching a lot of them. So I do that. And then mostly I work all day. I work from home, so I don't really go anywhere, but I still love to get ready every morning, put on makeup, do my hair. So that's pretty normal for me to do. Yeah, I get all ready, work. So I really end up doing about a fourth. I might use a fourth of the juice each time. And so that's why I like to supplement it with a little bit of water. And it really doesn't like loosen the sweetness at all when I'm doing that. It's still very sweet. Woo-hoo! I'm so excited. I've not had smoothies in months because I was living in a trailer. My fridge was so tiny, or my freezer was so tiny, so I couldn't do them there. And yeah, so I've just been having fruit for breakfast, which is great, but I love just being able to drink my fruits and vegetables and have to eat them. I don't know why, there's just something about drinking it that's just easier and getting more in, because if I was to eat a big bowl of what I'm putting in here, I would not be eating that, you know? Takes too long, kind of crunchy, so I like it in this form. Okay, so I'm gonna go on the last question I'm gonna answer. I won't have you guys see all of these because this is gonna still take me a bit. Last question I'm gonna answer, kid names. Wow, so funny thing, me and Logan have actually already agreed on 2 kid names that we love. We're not gonna tell y'all yet. So I had like my favorite girl and boy name, and I told Logan, and he really liked them as well. So we've gotten like 2 names that we both really, really love, and hopefully those will be over time. Like they'll stay the same, but we really like those. Kid names, I have a lot actually, kid names. I've worked out of school for forever, and since I was little, I've actually been collecting kid names. Not really collecting, but I write down anytime I see a kid name that I really like, I'll write it down. And so it just gives me a big, broad kind of list. So I love kind of like outdoorsy names, kind of I like some like very old like European, but I feel like those two are kind of like, it depends on which ones, because I don't really want common names at all. My parents have very, very common, and so their goal with all my siblings is trying to have names that weren't, but then they end up having Brianna, and then my brother right underneath, that's how it ended up being a popular name. My dad thought my mom made up the name Brianna, and then his name. So yeah, he thought she made up mine. And then he goes to work a couple days later after I was born, and one of his workers was like, oh, my 20-year-old daughter's named Brianna. And so it kind of just like, he was like annoyed. He's like, we were trying so hard, and then ended up being like the 16th most popular name that year, even though he thought it was made up. So that was kind of sad, but you know, you can only try so hard and what you do. On this blender too, the lid, I don't know what happened, but I cannot find that hole that will go in there, so it's making it a little bigger of a mess in here. So we'll have some cleanup to do after this. Well, I'll have some cleanup. I'll do that. But baby names, okay. So I'm gonna hurry to this, and then I'll read you off some of them from the list. But I'm not gonna tell you any ones that I'm for sure that I love, because I hope to be able to use them someday. And I don't really want them to be stolen or suddenly become popular, because I want to use them, you know? Okay, so some of the names that I love are like Saffron, Hills, Charm, Pierre, Ilo, it's like a family name, Aurora, Snow, Denham, Granger, Truitt, Loxley, Fallon. So I like kind of like not really odd names, but kind of a little different. And just like I like very like kind of nature-y kind of names. So yeah, those are some of them. I don't know what I'll use. I have probably hundreds of names that I like. So there's a lot of options, and we'll just decide when the kids come, you know, what fits them and what works best. Well, I hope you guys liked this video and want me to make all of my smoothies. If y'all make them, tell me down below, or send me a picture on Instagram, tag me, whatever, because they're very yummy. I love drinking them. I can get Logan hooked on them, you know. So yeah, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell notification, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a great day, great night. God bless.